Welcome, acolytes. Today I am reacting to Unhinged Knight. Is it wise to smash a Succubus Waifu? Pro and cons. Well, let's just hear what the man has to say about it because... let's just say, now we're talking. Finally something I can agree with. Good.
Okay, so today we're talking about the Succubus Waifu. Yes! Oh my god, you done? I am so sorry.
Oh,
You're really
yes.
not though. Anyway, since Valentine's Day is coming up, I figured I'd talk about the Succubus and try to find some pros and cons. Now, one would think that a Succubus, someone that can give you the Gluck Gluck 9000, would not have any cons that make you not want to smash. However, I'm here to tell you today, that's not true. The one con that I found that I was disgusted by, like this one's a personal one for me because I really hate it. It's shape-shifting. A Succubus is a shape-shifting demon. However, let me explain. A Succubus in some cultures can sometimes turn into an Incubus, which is the male version of a Succubus. Basically, from what I've read, and this is from Myth and Folklore Wiki, a Succubus and an Incubus can swap genders. And they basically become a Succubus when they require love nectar, for their life source. And they will become an Incubus or Incubi in order to use the love nectar they gather from the men to impregnate the woman. I can't with this one. I just can't with this one. A woman has one time in her life to say she will used to be a man around me before I dip out. And when I say dip out, I mean out the window. I'm gone. Doing a complete flip with a 10 out of 10 landing. That's realistic, right? And I'm going off the grid, straight to Antarctica. Because I can't accept that. It doesn't matter how bad she is either. I mean, she could look like Mystique and I'll still crash out if she turns into a man. I can't do it. I can't do it. How you gonna expect me to stay attracted to you if 1 second you're 10 out of 10 and the next second you got 10 inches of something I don't like? Now, to make more sense of this, a Succubus usually turns into what the victim desires the most. But see, y'all don't understand. That could mean several things. Because that could mean an Incubus looks like, you know where this is going. You know where this is going. You've seen the stories. You've been on the internet. If you've been on the internet, you know where this is going.
Yep.
Don't look. I'm about to crash out. I'm about to crash out. No, you know where this is going. Because I've seen the I've seen the You've seen the ones. You've seen the ones. You don't like it? Well, you probably do like it. Now that I think about it, you probably do like it. Look. I can't. I'm losing my point. Basically, an Incubus is supposed to be attractive to a female and very seductive to females. In other words, think about this for a second. What are females attracted to? What could a Succubus turning into an Incubus make itself look like to attract a female? And that's where my mind goes into a dark place. Because I've heard of book talk, that thing, that book that women are, like to read, basically, sexual content that women like to read. And then there's all those different categories on the internet women probably like. Look. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a big black man, some tentacles, a horse, a vampire that doesn't care about consent, a woman with male genital, or even worse than all that, a femboy whose manhood is bigger than mine. How can I even look the Succubus in the face the same way, knowing when she's with me, she's like, or when she's with a female, she turns into a big black man or a horse, and she's like, I want that booty. No! There can only be one big black man on the block that gets all the big booty bitches. That's me!
By the way, as the Succubus functions, if this happens to you, that's a you problem. Definitively. There is something you cannot accept in your soul. But the fanboy stuff was freaking
Me, not him! Coming in here with all that true blood vampire diary energy. Screw Incubuses, I hate them all. The booty is mine! Mine! Now, is that a narcissistic, crazy thing to say? Yes, of course it is. But who the hell told y'all I was saying? The booty is mine, it belongs to me. The booty is mine, it belongs to me. Or in other words, viewer, there can only be one. Oh Lord, only one! Well, let's back up for a second. What exactly is a Succubus? I found many definitions, but they all basically say the same thing. In medieval European folklore, the Succubus is a demon that appears to men in their dreams and seduces them into sexual encounters.
Yep.
The Succubus is often depicted as a beautiful woman, but may also have bat-like wings, horns, a tail, hoofs, or fangs.
Yes.
The Succubus is also said to be able to suck the life force out of men, leaving them exhausted or even killing them. Yes! Stop it!
And by the way, this was the version that I was actually known with, or that I knew, the European version. Succubus appears in your dreams and then sucks you basically to death. At least partially in a good way. But in the end of the day, yes, the Incubus and the Succubus was a different thing. Like two different entities. But the shapeshifting one is actually quite interesting. This makes the case even... Yeah, I mean, it makes the case even better, in my opinion. So yeah, there's that.
I even found on the Myth and Folklore wiki that celibate monks seem to be especially prone to attacks by succubuses. Apparently, celibate monks blame succubuses for their lustful thoughts or sexual dreams. Yeah, y'all virgins ain't fooling anyone. Y'all just old and horny. Tragic. Stay away from them little boys. Anyways, you're 100% likely to be able to smash a succubus. However, you're also very likely to die from the experience.
Correct.
The writer Walter Steffens wrote in his book Demon Lovers that in some traditions, it's believed that repeated sexual activity with a...
And by the way, a lich here, I'm already dead. Undead, so why not? Why not?
Incubus or a succubus may result in the deterioration of health, an impaired mental state, or even death. Also, since in some cultures, a incubus can also be a succubus, and vice versa, if a woman were to get pregnant by an incubus, the result of the birth would be either a witch, demon, or a deformed human offspring. And the deformed human offspring would either be called a cambion or a changeling, which is basically the same thing, just a hideous baby. And let me remind you again, the incubus would just be using the love nectar that it got from the man when it was a succubus to impregnate the human woman. In other words, that's not his love nectar, that's yours. So yeah, that's up.
Damn.
But now again, it's not all bad. There are pros. For one, all succubuses are not known to shapeshift, at least into an incubus or a man. And the sexual encounter will very likely rock your world. Which I suppose out of all the monsters and demons and creatures we talked about on this channel, this would be the best death you could have. Hell, this would be a nymphomaniac's best day ever. But yes, from all I've read, it will ultimately kill you. Now here's a question that popped up in my mind while I was reading this. What if she falls in love with you? The answers I found to this were very unsatisfying.
That's even worse. Okay.
Basically, if it's a modern day succubus, like in anime or in another modern day story, she could possibly fall in love with you. In past folklore, those succubuses were built different. They would not fall in love with you. They were there for the love nectar, and that was it. A succubus's primary function in folklore is always to get the love nectar, and that's it. It's like blood for a vampire. She needs it to live. If she doesn't get it, it's often said that she's going to get weak and possibly die. Now, this information did not really satisfy me at all. I want to dig deeper. So I looked up information on the original succubus, Lilith. And no, not the one from Hazbin Hotel, and not the one from Diablo. And there are apparently many different versions of her in folklore. And apparently she is commonly found in Jewish folklore. But it says here that the origin of Lilith is of a Sumerian succubus. And the first Jewish story of Lilith was told in the alphabet of Ben Sara. Before the introduction of the alphabet Ben Sara, Lilith was mostly seen as a demoness instead of the first Eve. Now I'm going to sum up what I read about Lilith in just a couple of words. Lilith was a bop. The original bop. In the alphabet of Ben Sara, in Jewish folklore basically, she's described as Adam's wife, whom she disobeyed, and she also disobeyed God. She was seen as an evil reflection of the feminine aspect of God, along with Samuel. And Samuel is also a demonic figure seen as Lilith's second husband, or partner. Anyway, Lilith is evil. Around the 20th century, Lilith had a fearsome reputation of being a kidnapper and a murderer of children and a seducer of men. In the 1960s, she became a model for independent women, or aka the feminist. Now I don't know much about the original.
Now you know, acolytes. Now you know why the entire effing movement looks like this. And that's why, by the way, because this was the thing they were idealizing, why a lot of people, at least in my age, when I was a young, sprouting man, Lich, as it is, we actually made fun of feminists. If we heard the word feminist, we were like, nope, not touching that. Nope, too dangerous.
Feminists, but I believe that they believe in true equality between men and women. But if you live in the modern day time period, you know that feminists, especially online, appear to, well, generally just hate men altogether. Now, what does this have to do with Lilith? Well, like I said before, Lilith was a bop, and she didn't really have any love for Adam or her second husband, Samuel. And besides being called the first Eve, she's also called the mother of demons and all things evil and unholy. She is also compared to the feminine version of God. She's also known as a demoness who kills children and takes advantage of men while they're asleep. She's also known to use the love nectar of the men she sleeps with in order to create demons. And from what it says here, the first Eve version of the story gives Lilith a role that many women can identify within Judaism and other religious traditions. By feminists, she is seen as an independent woman who challenges the oppressive system in which she is placed. Stealing the lives of children represent a certain madness that accompanies her solitude and exclusion. Despite Lilith's downfalls, she still remains a symbol of power simply by her survival and mysteriousness. She is open for interpretation and therefore allows women to reinterpret her symbolism and power within the tradition. So,
yeah, just think about it. Just think about it for a freaking second. A murderer, a thief, and honestly, like, if you idolize this for real, I mean, it's a difference between finding stuff like this entertaining and interesting and idolizing this and just trying to do the thing that you want to do. It's a more than a red flag. It's a freaking red truck driving by and honking.
But yeah, long story short, like I said before, Lilith is a bop, who basically is a role model for feminists. So, yeah, evil. Now, the real question here is, could you smash Lilith? Yes, but you will die. You will die. She will kill you. From what I read, Lilith's powers consist of supernatural reproduction, which means Lilith can reproduce with other entities to create demons and other supernatural beings, and she can also reproduce asexually. She can shapeshift, which we all know what that means. She can use spellcasting, telekinesis, which means she can move objects with her mind, necromancy, which means she can raise the dead, spycraft, which means she can use mirrors to spy on people and places. She can dreamwalk, which means she can enter people's dreams. She has longevity, which means she ages slowly, but I think in most interpretations of her, she is immortal. And she can spread diseases, illness, and death. Now, these are the powers of the original Lilith. The newer interpretations of her could be different. People could add powers like hypnotism, mind control, and corruption. But yeah, these are her original powers. And not only will she kill you, but she'll take your, love nectar and turn it into a demon. So, yeah. Could you smash? Of course. But is she wise to smash? Hell no. Now, moving on. Is there a demon in fiction, like in anime or, Fatal Tales? Alright, I'm just gonna get this one out of the way first. We're talking about one from a not safe for work platform type, Her name is Hertza, I believe it's pronounced. And I swear to you, I only looked at this video for research purposes. Liar! I'm not lying! And if I lie, may God... Hold up. I gotta word this correctly. If I lie, may God make a cat somewhere spontaneously combust. Well, Alright, so this succubus Hertza is from the Fatal Tale movie, The Cursed Prince. And yeah, it's basically a not safe for work video, so watch at your own risk. It surprisingly has good animation, but besides that, it's a pretty good representation of what a succubus actually is. The way the plot goes, she's a demon shapeshifter who comes in contact with the prince, or in other words, the lucky bastard. And she ends up putting a curse on the prince to make him her thrall. Now, for the majority of the video, he tries to free himself by getting freaky with the demon, but of course, doesn't work. And he's enslaved forever. Oh no, I hate him. God damn it, I hate him. Now, before I crash out again, I looked at all her powers, and she really just has the standard succubus powers. I mean, she can curse you, but I mean, considering the circumstances of her being a succubus and, what she did to the main character of the story, is not bad at all, really. Now, apparently she does have enough stamina to kill a whole village of people, so, yeah. Okay, I was really trying to find cons with this one, but apparently there really aren't many cons. She is considered chaotic evil, but I mean, the main character didn't die from having, intercourse with her. It was implied that other knights did die and probably some other people. But if the worst you get is being her draw for eternity, I don't see many guys complaining about that. She's pretty hot, and the things she shapeshifts into are...
Maybe we disagree on this one. I'm not particularly fond of being underling for somebody else. So maybe we differ there a bit. Just a bit.
Pretty impressive, not gonna lie. So for this one, I would say smash, but smash with caution. Maybe you don't want to be cursed by succubus to get your life sucked out of you for all eternity. Depends on the guy. I would do it. All right, voice, you're up.
Finally!
What's up, y'all? Next one up is Miru, the succubus, or aka Miru Diana. That's a weird name. I'm pretty sure I probably pronounced that wrong. Either way, just call Miru.
Yeah.
She's a 1,100-year-old succubus who is seen as chaotic neutral, which means she's not all evil, but she's not all good either. She's somewhere in the middle ground. Like many succubuses, she can absorb love nectar to increase her overall power, But in her natural form, she's more like a spirit, and she has to hop body to body to survive. Now, she herself is old, but the body she possessed, at least in the movie, was pretty much underage. I honestly checked out at that point.
Yeah.
I honestly forgot that most succubuses would more likely sleep with almost anyone or anything. So yeah, that's a con. But besides all that, she has memory manipulation, and because she still has a soul of the person she's possessing, that soul can influence her personality, giving her multiple personalities. So yeah, even though she's possessed an underage girl, the underage girl is basically still in there. So yeah, con. Now if she just went after adults, I would have no problems. But of course, succubuses usually don't do that, even in folklore. Which the more you think about it, the more it becomes very, very, very screwed up. But either way, next one, Veronica Mayday from Hello Boss. This one is pansexual, which basically means she has no standards. But here's the official definition of it. Now, I'm gonna be honest here. I may be a pervy cat, but this one slept with Blitz. And if you watch this show even for a second, I honestly got off it after a while because it's not my type of show. She has the worst taste in people. I couldn't with this one. She slept with Blitz of all people. This guy is a scumbag. I'm sorry. He may be the main character of the show, but this guy's a scumbag. I don't like him. His daughter's cool. I mean, and his relationship with his daughter is cool, but I don't like him per se. I mean,
there is a wisdom in this, acolytes, that just got told that probably a lot of you missed. The people you are surrounded by reflect who you are. He just said it in a different way. Yeah. But yes, just hear what the man says. He's correct.
Maybe a pervy cat, but even I have standards. Usually it kind of ends with just, you know, the woman has to be thick and that's it. But this guy, really? The imp who has sexual relations with a twink owl. Come on now. You can do better than that. You can do better than that. Now don't get me wrong, she's hot, but she needs a therapist. And I can't just ignore the big fact that she is in hell, which is a huge con. I know succubuses are hot, but if you really want to go down all the way in hell just to get laid by a succubus, you need help. And by help, I mean some Jesus! So yeah, this one's a pass. Alright, next one up, Albedo from Overlord. This one's surprisingly easy to judge. She's surprisingly a virgin. Yeah, I know, I don't believe it either.
You lie! You lie! You're lying!
All jokes aside, there is proof that she is a virgin, shown in this scene when she tries to ride a bicorn, which is basically the polar opposite of a unicorn. I'll let Shaltir explain it to you.
According to this entry, bicorns are a symbol of impurity. In terms of who is capable of riding them, they are the opposite of unicorns. While unicorns can only be ridden by pure maidens, bicorns can only be ridden by impure ones. Is there something you want to tell us, Albedo?
You had one job. One job, be a succubus, and you failed. You're a failure. You suck. Look at you on your knees crying. Your ancestors will be ashamed. When they got on their knees, they were happy. They were winning in life. But you, look at you, you're crying. Pathetic. Oh, what's that you say? It's hard to seduce a main character who's basically a skeleton. While that sounds logically accurate, listen here, baby bop. You're a sexy anime succubus. All I'm hearing is excuses. I don't care if you're freaking SpongeBob. Don't give me excuses. Give me results. Rule 34 demands it. All jokes aside, besides being a virgin and a baddie and very, very, very powerful, Albedo does not like humans. She sees them as inferior. And she has a huge obsession with the main character, to the point where she's basically assaulted him multiple times. Yeah, I don't know about you, buddy, but if you were me, I would whip up some magic and find myself some manhood. If you can crush someone's heart from a distance with barely any effort, then you should be able to use magic to go alakazam, alakazam. May my boys grow large and find a hole and go kablam. Come on, man!
The one thing you don't know about liches, seemingly, or maybe even undead, or some undead, we don't really have those feelings. So yeah, imagine that.
Alright, last one. Morrigan Aslan from Darkstalkers. I may have butchered that last name, I'm not really sure. But either way, Morrigan is the perfect succubus, at least in my opinion. And here's why. She's Scottish. She was born in 1678. Whoa. She's 5'8" and all the way caked up. And unlike some of the other succubuses on this list, she does not need love nectar to survive. Or in other words, sexual intercourse. She basically only needs excitement. Morrigan can hypothetically survive entirely on fighting. Now let me explain this. She does need stimulation in order to stay alive. Or more or less, she needs the stimulation in order to secrete a liquid that maintains her life force. If she was kept away from any source of excitement, she'd die after 2 days by lack of feeding. Now this is an ability that only Aslan succubi have in the series. And again, to get the liquid, all they need to be is physically or mentally stimulated. There's also a way for them to get the liquid through dreams, without hurting the dreamer. Basically, in a Darkstalker universe, when a creature dreams, a special secretion is formed in the brain of the dreamer. The succubus can take this liquid from the outside of the body. Those whose dream that have been robbed feel a strange feeling as if one's dream was completely taken away. But again, it won't kill you. She can have the dream. The liquid is then dissolved into the body of the succubus and is composed. This is the best succubus ever. Smash! She can take all the dreams she wants, and if she needs some more stimuli, she can put me in the armbar. The pain will be temporary, but those thighs are forever. Oh yes! Spider-Man got good taste. Now leave in the comments what you think about the Succubus Waifu, and who you think the best one on this list is in your opinion. I know we more than likely missed a lot that we could have talked about in this video, but we'll leave.
And by the way, the last one, this sounds actually quite interesting. This could, like, what would stealing a dream have? What consequences would it have to actually steal a dream? Because dreams are basically there to actually get around, like, from what I know, by the way. You just, I don't know, in German I can explain it in German, but not in English. It's just den Traum zu verarbeiten. I don't know what this means in English, so just learn German, I guess. To process the dream, so you can actually, like, somehow accept it. So I don't know exactly, but yeah. So what consequences would that have over a long period of time? That's
other ones for part 2. So tell us who you want for part 2, and you guys have a happy night. Do we celebrate Valentine's Day? You mean the holiday that was made to give women gifts? Hell no! Well, why not? Man, I'm the unhinged knight, not the white knight. I'm giving and receiving something on Valentine's Day, but it ain't love. Oh, I see. Yeah. So is anxiety dead? Yep.
Again, a fun one, Acolytes. The Unhinged Knight is just something special. He overthinks everything. But also, I actually find it quite fascinating how precise the information is that he can actually give in these videos, and wisdom that may not, like, not everybody will understand it instantly. I probably also missed one or two, but as it is, good night.